Hello friends, how's it going? And welcome back to another video about Endless Heist. Hopefully you guys are still interested in it. I know it's not the most hyped up thing in the world, but I am having a lot of fun with it. You know, I really like the challenge of hardcore solo self-found, and I think this is a unique, interesting way to play the game. And I really like the lessons that I'm learning and trying all these different builds within a short period of time and learning about a different way to play the game. So after dying yesterday, I rolled a new character. It is a Vaal Detonate Dead Raider, and I'm already in the top 30 of characters, and it's going really, really well. I just wanted to update y'all, let you know how it's going, hopefully give y'all some ideas if you want to attack something like this in the future. And I think this will be really interesting and instructive, at least for getting some ideas if you are looking to do some of the other events that are coming up, like Atlas Evasion that starts on Friday, which I'm really, really excited about. We're going to fight like Shaper and Elder on the beach and all that sort of crazy stuff. So that's going to be really, really fun. Anyway, let's just get right into it and start talking about the character. So after ripping, I took a look at what the ladders were looking like, and I saw that Raiders were not the most competitive. There are a couple people at the top, and in fact, it is heating up a little bit as of time of recording, the end of Wednesday, but I have persevered, and one day in, I am in the top 30 right now, and I think by the end of tomorrow, assuming all goes well, I should be in the top 10 of the hardcore solo self-found Raiders. And I just wanted to talk about what this new character was, what I'm doing here, how I adapted from the last character, and how I made some adjustments based on what I saw out there in the wild. So I'm a level almost 86 Vaal Detonate Dead Raider. People that have been doing hardcore races for a while know that this is already a really, really strong build. I think especially with these specialized races like this, where we don't need super, super big single target, we are now seeing that Vaal Detonate Dead is the skill that people are going to in ascendancies across the board. We are seeing Vaal Detonate Dead Juggernauts. We're seeing Vaal Detonate Dead Raiders. We're seeing Vaal Detonate Dead. I don't even know. We're probably just going to see it across the board. If we look at PoE Racing, Vaal Detonate Dead is played by basically every single ascendancy right now. You know, we got the top Inquisitor, the top Juggernauts, the top Necromancers, of course. Occultists even are playing it. The top Guardians playing it. It's really just every single ascendancy is squeezing it in. Why is that? So the way that these races work is we don't need to fight bosses, right? And in fact, we don't even really care about killing the unique monsters that have a little bit more HP. We don't even need to kill rares that badly, but, you know, we can make them die. But we do kill them when we can because they have auras, they're annoying, they do give a bonus of XP. But honestly, if we can just kill white and blue monsters, go fast, and don't die, that is the most successful metric for this race. And what Detonate Dead does is it does an explosion that deals base fire damage equal to 6% of the corpse's maximum life. The flat damage that it does on hit actually doesn't really even matter. We can use level 1 Detonate Dead if we really, really want to. I'm leveling mine up because I have mine linked to life tap, so I don't really care about the mana issues, and I want a little bit more on hit damage. But if I wanted to do just Ignite, I could just leave it at level 1 and not worry about the mana cost. So because it's dealing 6% of the corpse's maximum life, and if I'm scaling, you know, decent amount of fire damage, then I am scaling Ignite. With Ignite Proliferation, I am able to kill basically the entire screen based on the scaling of that very, very easily, very, very quickly. And I don't have to get too much damage at all on my character because the corpse's life is the only thing that I really care about for scaling. And then everything else I can just put into defense. You know, I'm in hardcore, I want to stay alive, and the skill itself will just scale everything naturally. The monsters get more life, corpses have more life, and bigger, you know, bigger ignites, bigger explosions, right? That combined with Ignite Proliferation, being able to just proliferate the Ignite in a big radius, take out the entire screen, makes it absolutely insane. On top of that, using Vaal Detonate Dead, which then explodes with a 9% of the corpse's maximum life, it will just give you, you know, Vaal Detonate Dead will just clear the entire screen very, very easily. If you combine that with Infernal Cry, well, then you're even better. The Infernal Cry can also ignite if you have Ignite chance, and it will be absolutely bonkers for just exploding the entire screen. And that's with very, very little investment into damage. You know, I did roll this Scepter that has pretty decent affixes for some fire spell and some burning damage. It's got the nice implicit of increased elemental damage. And then I have Breath of Flames and Searing Heat. And that's it. That is the only damage that I have whatsoever. Linked with Life Tap, Combustion, Ignite Proliferation, Burning Damage. That is it. I cast Desecrate, I cast Detonate Dead. Everything dies on the screen except for rares. I do Vaal Detonate Dead. Everything on the screen dies. It's that simple, it's that easy. We're going to run a quick little contract. It's an I level 75 repository. If you recall, repository is what killed me in my rip clip. So I want to get a little bit of a revenge there. So the entire gameplay is just run forward, desecrate. It is a 2-button gameplay. You know, if you find that annoying, that can be a little frustrating. But just desecrate and detonate dead. And that's it. And then I'm looking very carefully at my middle click here, which is my Vaal Detonate Dead. Once that's ready and a lot of monsters spawn, I can absolutely just explode the entire screen. You can see that the ignites will just proliferate and kind of clean up the whole screen. It's really, really nice. So let's spawn a bunch of monsters and show the Vaal Detonate Dead here. Just like that, cleans the whole screen. Really, really nice. As usual, I had to go with my Raider. It's my favorite ascendancy in the game by a lot. You know, she does struggle with scaling damage very, very easily for a lot of things, but it's just really nice, smooth, tanky gameplay. All right, let's group up all these monsters, and there's actually not that many monsters, so I don't have to worry about it, right? Just stay fast, stay safe. I have permanent, really, really fast onslaught. I can just stay on the outside, stay alive. Open this door. All right, we got a lot of monsters here. Let's group them up a little bit. And do a Vaal Detonate Dead. Because our character is so fast, we can kind of just go through things. We have armor, we have evasion. We can do Infernal Cry to make the explosions even more proliferate. Keep on going. Open the door. Get out there. There's a lot of monsters there. I do have another Vaal Detonate Dead. Let's just make that happen. Pretty nice. There we go. And we even leveled up. Let's go. I have 76 all res as well as 78 to my cold res. 53% spell damage prevention as well as full spell suppression. The thing that I am mainly working on right now is more evasion and more armor. The lack of a granite flask. I have not found a second granite flask after losing the first one to my Inquisitor. So all I have is this basalt flask that just really doesn't do that much. With it triggered, I do have 9,800 armor. It's okay. It's helpful. And then with my Jade Flask triggered, I have 81% evasion. Because of Avatar the Chase, I have plus 10 to the base evasion amount. And so that means I don't have to get quite as much to cap out. The only evasion that I have at all on my gear is a little amount from my Belly of the Beast, almost nothing from the shield, and then just a little amount on my boots. And I'm already with my flask up at 81% evasion. I want to swap out one of these pieces of gear, and that should get me to very comfortably cap out at 90% with my flask up, which is pretty awesome. Then once I have a granite flask, I should get to a decent amount of armor, but then I don't have to worry about that too much. So with all of that, I can survive that top end super scary hit that killed my Inquisitor. So if we take a look at it, the top end damage that cold attack was doing, that big scary cold ball, was 16,200. Then if it had a 1.3 crit multi, if you have 130% crit multi, that is 30% more damage. It's not plus 130 crit multi. That was a little confusion I saw a couple people have in the comments. So that's 21,000 incoming damage. Now that actually would not have killed my Inquisitor. He had 78% cold resistance. So let's say we had 50% extra damage on top of that with some other modifier. I think that's a fair number for something like being super, super scary. So if we multiply that by another 1.5, that's 31,590 damage coming in. Now against my Raider, I have 53% spell suppression. So we multiply that by 0.47, 47% of that incoming damage. And then I have 78% cold res. Multiply that by 0.22. And then that is 3,266 damage incoming. I have a total of 6,000 combined life and energy shield. I could fairly comfortably tank one of those big hits. So fingers crossed, at least repository and tunnels, nothing super scary in there. That's an example of how you can look at your rip, build a new character, and do better, at least to that one thing that's incoming. I am a little scared of the physical damage reduction and, if I don't evade too many attacks at once. But honestly, everything scary in repository is from those spells. And I have spell protection totally on lockdown. Things that I'm on the lookout for is a granite flask and upgrading my gear just a little bit. I want new bases. I would love to get closer to 1,000 energy shield, and I would like to get at least 1 to 300 more life. Oh, and another thing, on top of that spell, I still have, because of Remnant of the Empires, and I am using Tempest Shield. You can't really see it because I have the MTX turned off. I still have 63% spell block. So still 63% of the time, all of those spells get blocked. And then I am mitigating 47% of that damage before my resistances. So like before, absolute fingers crossed. Hopefully I don't die to any errant random spells. The things that are scaring me right now is if a really big fizz hit comes through, that's really what's going to get me. Just got to layer a little bit more of those defenses back on there. Granite Flask, come on. Why won't you drop? And then I will be okay. Speaking of the Granite Flask, there's a recipe where you sell a Ruby, Topaz, and Sapphire Flask that has the armor modifier on it, and you can get a Granite Flask. I've only found Ruby Flasks. So I don't have any of those either. So that's kind of why I had the Ruby Flask in my inventory as well. So here we go. PoERacing.com just updated, and I am now the 26th place raider, playing for about 24 hours. So not bad. Pretty happy with my progress in just one day. And I think in a lot of that is because of the buff. Thank you, GGG, for buffing that 1 through 68 XP. And I am looking tomorrow on stream to make a push and try to make it up to about level 90. I think that that's pretty realistic, maybe even 91. And that will put me in the top 10. And I'm in spitting distance of getting a demigods. Now it will heat up and get pretty interesting up here. It is looking pretty spicy, but I'm excited for the competition. All right, thanks for watching. I just want to get a little update on how this Endless Heist event has been going with my second character after ripping. Thank you everyone that said rip in peace. I don't want to use buttons. The very nice Righteous Fire Inquisitor, he had his time. I made a mistake and he died, but I learned from it, and hopefully this character will rise like a phoenix from the flames and carry me to a demigods. Unfortunately, the Inquisitor has been pushed to 7th place at time of recording, so he is no longer in the running, but rest in peace to him. So from me and Zeus, thank you again for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time. Goodbye.